Very astonishing news. The U.S. State Department is sued over collusion with the Clinton Foundation. October 7th news. Questions involve potential pay-for-play corruption at highest levels of government. A lawsuit has been filed against the U.S. State Department demanding information about its cooperation with the Clinton Foundation as a, quote, pay-for-play allegations swirl around the Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton and the possibility Hillary Clinton victory could embroil the presidency in the same activities. Quote, answers to these questions are extremely important to the American people as they involve potential pay-for-play corruption at the highest levels of government. Furthermore, it is critical that government officials at every level know that they are not above the law. They are accountable to the people, end quote. The American Center for Law and Justice explained. The ACLJ, American Center for Law and Justice, previously filed several lawsuits over the State Department's failure to respond to Freedom of Information Act requests. And the latest, quote, ratchets up our litigation efforts against the Obama administration by asking the Federal District Court in Washington, D.C. to deal with the administration's pattern and practice of flouting the law, end quote. This is very serious stuff. Quote, it's no longer just about getting the records and the truth. We are fighting back against repeated and unabashed lawlessness. We're now demanding that our federal judiciary get to the core of the problem here. Where the Obama administration claims openness and transparency, it continues to practice a pattern of lawless corruption, end quote, the group said. So it's in fact claiming that the Obama administration is lawless. In other words, criminal. ACLJ said the information already obtained raises more questions. Quote, our friends at Judicial Watch uncovered key emails that showed requests for special treatment. Our Freedom of Information Act requests take the next step. What happened next? The ACLJ said. Quote, here's a summary of what we know. In one set of emails, Doug Band, a senior Clinton Foundation official, forwarded a request for a favor for someone who apparently had joined former President Bill Clinton and United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon on an infamous trip to Haiti in 2009. That person's name was redacted. Quote, important to take care of redacted, says Band. Then Secretary Clinton's top aide at the State Department, Huma Abedin, responds, quote, personnel has been sending him options, end quote. And in a different set of emails with the same players, we learned that the Clinton Foundation, on behalf of a businessman who had donated between $1 and $5 million to the Clinton Foundation, asked for access to the State Department's substance person for Lebanon. The ACLJ explained. The group asked, why did the Clinton Foundation donor need access to the State Department's substance person on Lebanon? What results from that access? As to the other email claim, what was the favor this unknown person asked for? Why did the Clinton Foundation official insist to State Department officials that it was, quote, important to take care of that person? What options had State Department personnel been offering that person and why? What happened after the Clinton Foundation applied pressure for favors apparently above and beyond the options he had already been offered, end quote. The ACLJ explained in a complaint that it wanted records, communications, or briefings created, generated, forwarded, transmitted, sent, shared, received, or reviewed by Jeffrey David Feltman, referencing several subjects. The subjects include Gilbert Chaguri, Chaguri Group, Grand Moulins de Benin, Port Harcourt Flour Mills, Ideal Flour Mills, Nigerian Eagle Flour Mills, Niger Delta flour mills, Tin Can Island, Ragolis Waters, Glass Force, Pyrotech, Silhouette Furniture, Ideal Eagle Hospital, and CNC Construction, ITB Construction, High Tech Construction, Feltwood Transportation, Echo Atlantic, Ocean Parade, Echo Hotel, the Clinton Foundation, the Clinton Global Initiative, the Clinton Health Access Initiative, and the Clinton Climate Initiative. The information had been requested through Freedom of Information Act by the State Department, but the State Department ignored obligations to respond. The complaint contends, quote, defendant has a reputation for flaunting and disregarding his public accountability and Freedom of Information Act obligations. For example, plaintiff has filed 2 major prior Freedom of Information Act lawsuits against defendant over its failure to respond as required by statute. In one case, after it received plaintiff's Freedom of Information Act requests, defendant publicly announced on June 9, 2016, that it will not comply with requests from the House Oversight Committee for emails concerned, a deleted or altered video, unilaterally deciding, apparently, that the emails it reviewed aren't relevant. It seeks a court order that the information will be produced by a certain date. The Clinton Foundation has been a major focal point of critics of Hillary Clinton. One recent report said that less than 6% of the foundation's 2004 budget was used for charitable purposes, with only $5.2 million for grants and $91.3 million for other expenses, including salaries. Also, several foreign millionaire and billionaire donors to the foundation have been convicted of criminal charges who have been treated as international celebrities. Independent investigations have concluded that the Clintons personally profited from the charity, and its donors have given millions of dollars with the expectation they would get access to the Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton. Bill Clinton was paid tens of millions for speeches, while Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State by states, individuals, and organizations lobbying the State Department. The Clinton Foundation donor conviction list headlines with Nigerian Lebanese industrialist Gilbert Chaguri, whose name turned up in the email exchange released by Judicial Watch, in which Taneo had pressed longtime Clinton aide Huma Abedin to put Chaguri in touch with the State Department's substance person, quote-unquote, on Lebanon. Chaguri is also notorious for having been denied entry into the United States last year because of suspected terrorist ties, as well as for having been placed on the TSA no-fly list in 2010. Chaguri's name appears near the top of the 2008 list of more than 200,000 donors to the Clinton Foundation. He contributed between $1 and $5 million in 2008 and again in 2009. He also pledged $1 billion to the Clinton Global Initiative in 2009. The Wall Street Journal responded in 2008 that Chaguri contributed to Bill Clinton's 1996 presidential campaign and to Hillary's 2004 presidential campaign and paid a lucrative speaking fee to the former president. New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani is forecasting the Clinton Foundation will end up being one of the biggest political scandals in America. Quote, I am more than willing to predict, when the history of our day is written, the scandal you are watching unfold is going to be like the Teapot Dome scandal in the 1920s and maybe bigger. It's going to be bigger than Watergate, he said at a campaign rally for GOP nominee Donald Trump in Tampa, Florida. President Nixon had to leave office, and he did a lot of bad things, but it wasn't racking in millions and millions of dollars through a phony charity, he said. I'm not sure how much money was involved in the Teapot Dome, but I bet it could not have been much more than the hundreds of millions of dollars the Clintons have been getting in turning the State Department into a pay-for-play operation. This is on State of the Nation. I'll leave a link below for you for this.